Krummi svaf í klettagjá, kaldri vetrar nóttu á. Verður margt að meini, verður margt að meini. Fyrr en dagur fagur rann, freðið nefið dregur hann. Undan stórum steini, undan stórum steini.
We gathered at the Hestasport cottages in Varmaleith in northern Iceland. Then we went to the barn and met some of our equine partners for a first short ride around the farm to the waterfall Reykjafoss. And so it starts. To the cottages for some hot pot time and a beautiful dinner cooked by the Hestasport crew. On the second day, the riders went along a river delta, and the rest of the herd started up a road towards the mountains with the Hestasport staff. At lunchtime, the human herd and the horse herd came together for the first time, and after a rest and a meal, we all moved deeper into the valley. On this trip, we lucky riders got to experience hours of the Icelandic horse tolt, a magical running walk that is a hallmark of this remarkable breed. At the end of the day, the herd stayed at a local farm, and the riders went back to the Hestasport cottages for another shot at the hot pot, a great meal, and a last sleep in a real bed. Hestesport staff finished packing and took care of horse hooves. Then we all left civilization and headed towards the center of Iceland, riding directly towards the huge glacier Hofsjökull. This is the Tolt. Look how smooth. Our first night in the wilderness, we stayed at a small mountain hut. No electricity, but the Hestesport staff made sure we had great food while the herd enjoyed good forage and an excellent view of the canyon. On the fourth day, as we got closer to the glacier, the landscape became volcanic and otherworldly. We riders worked to stay close enough, but not too close, to the herd so it would not go too fast or too slowly. It was a moving dance the Hestesport staff taught us as we went along. We switched horses every few hours to not tire out the riding horses. This gave us a wonderful opportunity to experience riding 3 to 4 different horses every day.
This is Multi, and he and I have been together for the last few hours. Time for a scratch.
Every hour or so, we stopped to allow the herd to eat and drink. That night, we stayed at a remote mountain hut in an ancient lava field. Our support staff brought the trucks through seriously difficult terrain to get our gear and food to us. On this day, the huge glacier loomed ever closer. turned away from Hofsjökull and headed directly towards the geographic heart of Iceland. After a long day in the saddle, we met our support team at an oasis in the midst of the volcanic landscape, a cabin right next to a hot pot, handy for soaking tired muscles. Dinner was Icelandic lamb, cooked in a pit and seasoned with herbs picked from around the cabin. The food was amazing on this trip. Day 6 showed us Iceland at her passionate best, with wind and rain and sunshine and rainbows.
The herd is way over there, can't you see?
We stopped for lunch by an older mountain hut. That was right next to a somewhat newer and more modern hut. On the ride down from the high plateau to a glacial river, we learned even more about the Icelandic horse's strength and agility in rough terrain. They are remarkable horses.
Multi, my main man.
We had some excitement at the end of the day when another herd of horses showed up unexpectedly, but the Hestasport riders kept the two herds separate, displaying impressive equestrian skill. Hestasport designed the Wilderness Expedition ride to showcase the abilities of the Icelandic horse as we traveled through the majesty and mystery that is Iceland. On this final day, we faced a descent into a huge and awe-inspiring gorge, which once again proved the sure-footedness and sense of these horses.
Okay, this is the canyon.
We needed to make it all the way down to the bridge that crosses that river. After the riders crossed the river and had climbed all the way back up the opposite ridge, we got to watch the herd come down the same path we just traversed in a beautiful, multicolored stream. And suddenly, it seemed, we were back in civilization. We said goodbye to those fantastic horses and headed back to the Hestesport cottages for a final celebration, complete with traditional Icelandic brennivín aquavit and fermented shark.
Hríðum, hríðum, rekum yfir sandinn, rennur sól á bak við Arnarfell. Hér á Reykir margur óhreinn andinn, úr því fer að skyggja á jökulsvell. Drottin leiði drösulinn mín, drjúgur verður síðasti áfanginn. Drottin leiði drösulinn mín, drjúgur verður síðasti áfanginn. Þey, 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 þaut í holti tóa, þurran vill hún blóði væta góm. Eða líka einhver var að hóa, undarlega dýrum karlaróm. Útilegum menn í ódáða hraun, eru kannski að smala fé á laun. Útilegum menn í ódáða hraun, eru kannski að smala fé á laun. Hríðum, hríðum, rekum yfir sandinn, rökkrið fer að síga á herðu breið. Álfa drottning að beisla gandinn, ekki gott að verða á hennar leið. Væmsta klárinn vill ég gefa til að vera kominn ofan í Kiðagil. Væmsta klárinn vill ég gefa til að vera kominn ofan í Kiðagil.
Lágum í gansinn, þetta stórt og smeyrið. Lágum í öskunni og flatbrauðsneið í flöskunni. Löggan í flöskunni, við komum ösku full var heim.
Hríðum, hríðum, rekum yfir sandinn, rennur sól á bak við Arnarfell. Hér á Reykj margur óhreinn andinn, úr því fer að skyggja á jökulsvell. Drottin leiði drösulinn minn, drjúgur verður síðasti áfanginn. Drottin leiði drösulinn minn, drjúgur verður síðasti áfanginn.